You knew something like this was bound to happen, especially when you have Moto Mods that offer a speaker, a battery pack, and yes, even a projector. Hey guys, John V here with Android Authority, and this is the latest Moto Mod accessory, the Hasselblad True Zoom. The standout feature here, of course, is the 10x optical zoom, which I'll talk about first. Now, few phones offer any sort of optical zoom with their cameras. However, there are phones out there that also achieve a 10x zoom range. Take, for example, the Samsung Galaxy K Zoom from 2014, which too also has a 10x zoom. Anyways, the 10x optical range here with the Hasselblad True Zoom is so useful. You can take a snapshot of something far away in distance. So for sporting events and other things where you're way back out there, it's neat how it makes it seem like you're right up there in the action. It's nice that the design follows a typical camera. You have a rubbery grip, your zoom controls, and even a dedicated shutter key. Since this is a Moto Mod, I do like how it offers the same seamless integration with the Moto Z lineup. The magnetic connection that's established is tight, so you won't need to worry about it coming apart. It's a bit on the hefty side, almost tripling the thickness of the phone in the process. So yeah, it's not something that you'll want to keep tucked away in your pocket for long periods of time. While we do like the design, it's missing some characteristics that would please enthusiasts. For example, there's no way to properly mount this to a tripod, or even a ring around the lens to adjust the focus manually. So the 10x optical zoom is its most notable feature, but when you look at some of the specs, it's the same caliber as other camera phones, and that's a shame. It features a 12 megapixel 1/2.3 inch backside illuminated CMOS sensor. That alone is pretty much in line to the same sensors in most phones. The aperture ranges from f3.5 all the way to 6.5 at the longest zoom range. And rounding things off, it has optical image stabilization for still shots, but you only get electronic image stabilization for video. You also have two microphones, a xenon flash, and up to 1080p video recording. That last part is a disappointment given that 4K is found in many mid-rangers nowadays. When it comes to the software, you can snap standard photos. You could also adjust the controls using the manual mode, and there's also a panoramic shot as well. But we were expecting more, like a lot more to be exact. Instead, it's lacking in this area. For photos, it's nice to see that the OIS kicks in when the shutter key is pressed halfway, and its usefulness is most prevalent when the zoom is at its maximum, mainly because it manages to do nicely with keeping the shot stable. When it comes to video, there's an electronic image stabilization system in place. Sadly though, this stabilization is a bit delayed. You can easily see how it's slow to react to the movements of us panning while walking with some of the footage. You could say we're a bit concerned when the quality out of the Moto Z Play Droid is better than that of the Hasselblad True Zoom. Yes, there's the optical zoom that's there to get closer, but if we're talking purely about quality here, the Moto Z Play Droid dishes up more details and better colors. In comparison, the Hasselblad True Zoom has a tendency to be softer with washed out colors. At the end of the day, you can say that the Hasselblad True Zoom is there for the convenience of zooming. Beyond that, however, we really can't recommend it to replace the cameras in the Moto Z line. Given the steep cost of this accessory, $250 if you're buying through Verizon, or even a crazier $300 from Motorola directly, it's not something for impulse buyers. The expense is really steep, making it hard for even the average Joe to even think about buying just to get that lengthy zoom. And forget about trying to sell this to the enthusiast. Honestly, this thing had a lot of potential, but it fails in many regards, with the exception of course zooming. So if you guys want to learn more about this, you could check out our website, androidauthority.com. This is John V, signing off.